Hare Krishna Mataji, Sandvat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Sandvat Pranam. Yeah. Just a second. Let me drop a message in the group that the session has been started. Yeah. Welcome back to our Wisdom of Women Bhagavad Gita classes. So, successfully we have completed Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga chapters. So, from today onwards, we are entering into the Gnana Yoga chapters of Bhagavad Gita. So, today we are going to discuss about the 13th chapter, that is nature, the enjoyer, and consciousness. Okay, let us start our session with Mangalacharan. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गे राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम् श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन जी की जय श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया की जय जगत गुरुपति पावन श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय श्रील गुरुदेव की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय नमाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय हरे नाम प्रभु की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining this session. So, this session is also dedicated to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Okay. Yeah, the acronym given for this chapter is WISE, W-I-S-E. So, W stands for WISE questions 1 to 7, shlokas, I for items of knowledge 8 to 12, S for soul and super soul 13 to 19, and E for enlightened, 20 to 35 shlokas. So wise questions, items of knowledge, soul and super soul, enlightened. Okay. Yeah, so we'll see what are the wise questions. So the questions that are going to be asked by Arjuna to Krishna. So they are mentioned as wise questions. So what are those questions and what did Krishna answer to those questions? And what are the items of knowledge? So there are like 20 items that has been mentioned in this chapter that describes the items of knowledge. And we also have the knowledge about the details about the super soul, the difference between soul and super soul, and we also have some other topics related to enlightening ourselves. Okay. Yeah, so before going to this discussion on this chapter, it is like, um, see, Srila Prabhupada mentions a statement, and the statement is, religion without philosophy is a sentiment, whereas philosophy without religion is a mental speculation. Okay, so what it means is, let's say we are just analyzing things. Philosophy, as in, we are trying to understand things by analysis. Yes. So, philosophy without religion is just a mental speculation. Means you are trying to analyze things, but you are not practicing those things in your life. Okay. So, then what happens? That is just a mental speculation, speculation at the mental mind level. Whereas the other part of the statement is religion without philosophy. So you are doing some practice, some sadhana you are doing, but you don't have any philosophy that is backing up your sadhana. Then what happens to that kind of sadhana? Usually that kind of sadhana is just called a sentiment. Yeah. So religion without philosophy is just a sentiment. Maybe if someone says you do this, you do this, you do this, but they are not giving you the reason why you have to do this, then what happens if you just follow them blindly? Then it becomes a sentiment. Yes? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Whereas if you have both, like you are knowing the tattva, the philosophy behind what they are asking us to do, and you're also practicing it, then that combination works well. Yeah. So in Krishna consciousness, basically in Bhagavad Gita, so you will be given both the philosophy and you will be given both the practice, the sadhana ways on how to apply that philosophy in your life. So both should go hand in hand. Yeah, that is the perfect combination. So this Gnana Yoga chapters. So basically, you might say, Mataji, we have already got a decent amount of information on the Bhakti Yoga, like who is Bhagwan, what are his energies, who are we, how are we related to Krishna, what are we supposed to do. So we have got all these details. And what is the use of this Gnana Yoga? So this Gnana Yoga is basically, you have to know why you have to do bhakti. Okay, so for that reason, Gnana Yoga is specifically described, all these chapters. So basically, the details or the philosophy that is required for us to take to the path of bhakti is mentioned in this last 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Is it clear? Yeah,
Yes,
yes,
Mataji.
yes,
no?
Mataji.
Yeah. So that's why we have this last 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Of course, we might have endless information related to Gnana Yoga, but what we usually do in the last 6 chapters is, whatever the knowledge required for us to take to the path of bhakti, we will confine this knowledge to that part. Okay. So that's how the further sessions, starting from today, would be going on. Yeah. Anyway, let us go to our wise questions. Let us see what is Arjuna asking to Krishna. So, intelligent questions. Arjuna uvacha prakritim purusham chaiva kshetram kshetragnameva cha etat veditumichami gnanam neyam cha keshava. Arjuna said, "Oh my dear Krishna, I wish to know about Prakriti, Purusha, the field and the knower of the field, and of knowledge and the object of knowledge." The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "This body, O son of Kunti, is called the field, and one who knows this body is called the knower of the field." So Arjuna started asking questions. So he was asking, Krishna, I want to know what is Prakriti, what is Purusha, what is Kshetram, who is Kshetragna. So what is gnanam? What is gneyam? I want to know all these things. But when you just hear these terms, Prakriti, Purusham, Gnanam, Gneyam, Kshetra, Kshetragna, have we heard of these words anytime in our last 12 days of discussion?
No, Mataji.
No. Yeah, we did not hear these words. But then why Arjuna asked these questions to Arjuna, Krishna? So basically, Arjuna had received a lot of information right from his childhood from different gurus. So now he is just asking in the context of Bhagavad Gita, in the context of this discussion. So he was just asking his question. So Krishna, I have heard of these terms of Prakriti, Purusha, Gnanam, Neyam, Kshetra, Kshetragna. I have heard these terms, but I just want to know in this context, what are the meanings for these specific words? I just want to know from you, what is a Kshetra? What is a Kshetragna? What is Prakriti? What is Nana? What is Neya? I just want to hear from you. So Arjuna asked these questions to Krishna, and Krishna started giving answers to Arjuna. Yeah, so basically 6 questions. What are the 6 questions? Prakriti, what is that? And yeah, Prakriti, the material nature. What is it? What is this material nature? Purusha, who is the enjoyer? Gnana, what is the knowledge? Gneyam, what is the object of knowledge? Kshetra. So, what is this Kshetra? Kshetragna. What is this Kshetragna? So, these are the questions asked by Arjuna, and let us see the answers given by Krishna. So, Prakriti or nature means this material nature, whatever the nature that we see around, okay, wherever we are here in this material nature, so that is called Prakriti. Okay, so and once again, Purusha. Who is this Purusha? Purusha is the enjoyer. So who is the enjoyer? Krishna is saying it is none other than Paramatma. The super soul is the enjoyer, Arjuna. And then Krishna asked, what is this Kshetra? Kshetra, what is this field? Field is nothing but body. And who is Kshetragna? Kshetragna is the person who knows what is happening with Kshetra. So Kshetragna is a person who knows what is happening with the body. Basically, knower of the body. So who are the knowers of the body? Soul and the super soul and Gnana. So what is this Gnana? Knowledge. It is nothing but understanding the field and the knower of the field. Question. And other question is Neyam. Neyam means object of knowledge. So who is our object of knowledge? It is none other than Paramatma. So basically Krishna started giving all these answers. So when you hear of the term Kshetra, Kshetra is nothing but the body. So all these terms are related to the Gnana Yoga. Okay, people who are taking to the analysis of this material nature, analysis of the body, analysis of the soul within the body, analysis of the super soul within the body, analysis of who is enjoyer and all. So in that context, Arjuna asked questions and Krishna started explaining. So have you heard of this body, soul, all these concepts earlier?
Yes.
Which
Last
chapter?
chapter.
Which chapter? It was in
Second.
Yeah, it was in second chapter. So you remember when we were discussing the second chapter, I have told you that second chapter is the essence of Bhagavad Gita, or it is like all the contents of Gita summarized. So whatever the contents that is there in the Bhagavad Gita, all those details were given in the second chapter. So basically, whatever we have discussed in the portion of identity. So what was the acronym for the second chapter? Do you remember? Yeah.
Gita.
Guru.
Gita, correct.
Gita.
Gita. Gita. Yeah, in Gita, I stands for identity, and in that section we discussed about the difference between the body and the soul, and we got to know that we are not this body. So we have two bodies, basically subtle body, gross body, and we are not both of these bodies. We are actually the soul. So basically, that concept is nothing but the Sankhya Yoga or the Gnana Yoga. So we have already touched this concept in the second chapter. Now the chapters from 13 to 18 are like extension, are related to the concepts that we have already discussed in the second chapter. Okay, that's why Arjuna was asking questions related to that. So when it is Kshetra, when we say something as Kshetra, Kshetra is nothing but the body. Kshetragna means The person who knows what is happening with this body. So, what is happening with this body? Who knows about it? It is the soul. Yes or no? Because what is pervaded all through the body is the consciousness of the soul. Yeah. So, what is happening to the body is known to the soul through that consciousness. Yeah? And also, as I said, along with soul, who accompanies us? Remember?
Super soul.
Super soul, yeah, none other than Paramatma. So super soul accompanies us. So along with the soul, super soul also knows what is happening with the body. Okay. And knowledge is, what is knowledge as per Krishna's answer? It is understanding the field and the knower of the field. So if you can understand what is this body, and if you can understand what is the soul and the super soul, then that is called getting this gnana, knowledge. Okay. And who is Purusha? Purusha is nothing but the enjoyer. So as I've already told you, who was the supreme enjoyer? Do you remember 5.29 shloka? भोक्तारं यज्ञतपसां सर्वलोकमहेश्वरं सुहृदं सर्वभूतानां ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिं रुच्यति. So who was the supreme enjoyer? The 3 points.
Krishna.
Krishna, yeah. Peace formula. You remember? Krishna was the supreme enjoyer. Krishna is the supreme controller, and Krishna is our ultimate well-wisher. Yeah. So supreme well-wisher. So the supreme enjoyer. So when we say Purusha, Purusha is nothing but the enjoyer. So who is the enjoyer? Enjoyer is none other than Paramatma. And the object of knowledge is Gnayam, to know about Paramatma. Okay. And Prakriti is, we have already known that Prakriti is nothing but the material nature. So, yeah. Now let us see the body that we are discussing. It is made up of 24 elements basically. Okay. So we have already known that the 5 Panchamahabhutas. What are they? Earth, water, fire, air, ether. Yeah. Along with that, the 5 objects of the senses. That is smell, taste, form, touch, sound. So, and also the 5 knowledge acquiring senses. What are the knowledge acquiring senses? Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin. And 5 working senses are voice, legs, hands, anus, genitals. Yeah. And apart from that, we have mind, false ego, intelligence. You remember these 3 comprises which body?
Subtle body.
Subtle body, correct. Subtle body. And along with that, we have this unmanifested stage. So the combination of all of this makes our body. Yeah. So our body, according to the Gnana Yoga or the concepts of Sankhya Yoga, our body comprises of 24 elements, and those 24 elements are these 24 elements. Okay, when I say this unmanifested stage, the unmanifested stage means actually the material nature. In the material nature, we have 3 gunas. Okay, 3 modes or 3 gunas. What are those? The mode of goodness, the mode of passion, the mode of ignorance. Anyway, this topic is the topic for tomorrow's session. Chapter 14 is discussing about the 3 modes of material nature. But to make you understand what is this unmanifested stage, I'm just telling you. So unmanifested stage is nothing but the Mahat Tattva. So when I say Mahat Tattva, it means the 3 modes of material nature, when they are unmanifested, that is called Mahat Tattva. Okay. So all this comprises, all the 24 elements would lead to our body. So our body comprises of these 24 elements according to Gnana Yoga. Okay. Yeah. Now let us see the difference between soul and the super soul. You know what? Many people would not know the difference between soul and super soul, and they would consider that they both are same. The soul and the super soul, they both are same. They would be in that misconception. So now let us see what is the difference between these two, so that we understand how far they are different. Okay. Super soul. So when we say super soul or Paramatma, you remember I have told you Krishna has 3 features. What are those 3 features? Yesterday's class, 12th chapter. God.
Impersonate form,
Hmm.
person form.
Paramatma.
Paramatma.
Paramatma Bhagavan.
Yeah, correct. Impersonal Brahmajyoti, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So the impersonal Brahmajyoti, Paramatma, Bhagavan, the second a feature of the Lord Paramatma is nothing but the super soul. Okay. So the super soul is the super knower. He knows, he's the knower of all bodies, whereas the soul is knower of own body. So you remember yesterday I told you that Paramatma, he accompanies the soul, like he's there in all the living entities along with the soul. And also I have told you that the after the presence of the super soul, the activities started happening in this material world. You remember that even after Brahma's creation, everything was simply a dead matter, but only after super soul's entrance into each of the minute atoms of this universe, then even though, like when super soul entered into an atom, even the electrons movement started only after entering, only after the entrance of super soul into the atom. Okay, so super soul is there in every single atom of this universe. So super soul knows what is happening in all the bodies, whereas the soul, so like I as the soul, I know what is happening in my body, but me as the soul, will I be able to know what is happening with your body? Yes, no? No, obviously no. But when it comes to super soul is, he's there with me, he's there with you, he's there with each and everyone. He's there with even a small, minute particle atom of this universe. So basically, super soul knows what is happening in everybody or in everybody. Okay. So super soul knows what is happening all through the universe, but whereas the soul, it is limited to this body. So it knows only what is happening in this specific body. Okay. And super soul is the supreme proprietor and controller. As we've already discussed, super soul is none other than Krishna, yeah, one of the features of Krishna, and he is the supreme proprietor and controller. So if he want to control something, he can control it. But when it comes to soul, it is the secondary proprietor and the controller. So we as the soul, we also have some control, yeah. So I also have some control on my body, on the situations related to me. But if I want to control the things beyond my range, then I would not be able to do that. But super soul would be able to do, be able to control, and he is actually the owner, the proprietor of each and everything. Okay. And super soul is infallible and always superior to the spirit soul. So always super soul is infallible. Okay. There is no question that super soul would be in the state of a fallible. Okay, he's always infallible and always superior to super soul, spirit soul. Okay, super soul is always superior, whereas the soul is fallible and soul is subordinate. As I said, the nature of the soul is, it is always an eternal servant of the Lord. It is always a subordinate. Okay, so the basic difference is, many people, they do not know that Paramatma and Atma, they both are different. They don't know this. They feel Atma and Paramatma, they both are same. Yeah, you are also Paramatma, I am also Paramatma, everyone is Paramatma. No, we are just Atmas. Paramatma is the Supreme Lord, one of the features of the Supreme Lord. He knows everything and he can control everything. Whereas Atma, at the level of soul, we have control over very few things, and we can, uh, we are like, we are knowers of only the specific bodies where we are entrapped, where we are bound. Okay. So these are the major differences between super soul and the soul. Yeah. So knowledge means to know what is body, what is soul, what is super soul, what is the difference between all these three. Now you got to know what is body. Yeah, body is made up of how many elements?
5 elements.
No. We discussed, no?
No,
What?
just
24.
24. Yeah.
20.
So these 24 elements. Okay. So body is made up of 24 elements. So do we know who is soul? Who is the soul?
We are soul.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
so
are the souls. Yes. And you know what? Earlier, when I was saying other class, I asked them who is the soul. Then they are like, the one which is in the body, the one who is inside us is the soul. They said. But you know, there is a difference between these two statements. The one who is inside us is the soul, or the one that is engaged in this body is the soul. Basically, who is inside us means what we are saying. Us is this body. That's how we say that the one who is inside us is the soul, means we considering ourselves as this body, and hence we say the one inside this body is the soul. But no, that is not the right answer. The right answer is we are the soul, and we are holding these bodies, or we are entrapped in these bodies. So you got it? Is it clear? We are souls basically, and we are uh, entrapped. We got bound in these bodies. Is it clear?
Yes,
Yes,
Mataji.
Yeah. And who is super soul?
Paramatma.
Paramatma.
Paramatma. So what is the difference between super soul and soul? The soul is knower of one single body, whereas the super soul is knower of everybody, everything. Okay. So this is the knowledge. Yeah, let us see the items of knowledge. So before that, let me tell you one small thing. You know what? When one time, when all the Pandavas, I remember, when all the Pandavas, they were called by their guru, and they were asked to, they were given laddu. And the guru told to them that you go and find a place, uh, and you have to eat this laddu in such a place that where no one should see you. Okay, so you find a place where you are visible to no one, where no one could see you, and if you can find that place, you can go and eat this laddu at that place. So everybody went, but Yudhishthir Maharaj came back and told his guru that actually there is no such place where no one is there to see me. I'm always been under vigilance of the super soul. Yeah. So basically, there is no such place in the entire universe where I can hide myself and say that nobody is watching me, nobody is seeing me. Yeah, we are always under the surveillance of the super soul. So the difference between a devotee and a normal person is normal person might do some mischievous activities when he find himself in a place where he was not being observed by anyone. Like when he found a place where there is no CCTV camera, where there is no one around, where no one is actually observing him, then he might do some mischievous activities. But when it comes to a devotee is completely aware that Krishna as Paramatma is there everywhere. Leave about other things. He is there right with me. Yeah. So he's there right with me, and he's watching me. He's watching me, and he's noting down what am I doing? Am I doing something good, something wrong? So he's making a note of everything. So there is no such place where I can go and keep myself alone without nobody watching me. That there is no such place as that in this material world. Yeah, so we have to be very vigilant. That's how when we have got this knowledge that super soul, Krishna as super soul, as Paramatma is watching me, we tend to be the same even when we are around so many people, or when we are alone sitting at our own house, because we have this thing in our mind that Krishna as Paramatma is watching me. I don't need to be in the association of so many people, or I don't need to be in the presence of so many people to behave well. But even when I am alone, even when I am um, right uh, alone in a specific place, I should be watchful, mindful of my activities, because Krishna is watching me. So by this, a devotee would never do any sort of activity that is against the injunctions of the Vedas. Yeah, is it clear?
Yes.
Yes,
Hmm.
Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, items of knowledge. Imagine, I just want to extend this point one more in one more dimension. Imagine if everybody thinks like this, like Krishna as super soul is watching me, so I should be loyal in my duties. I should be very honest in my dealings. Then how better the system would be? Just imagine this. So if everyone gets this knowledge that Krishna is watching me, I am under Krishna's surveillance and everything is being noted, then even though there is a chance of doing some crime, doing some corruptions, doing some illegal activities, would we be able to do that?
No, man.
Obviously, no. Hence, you know what? That's why Srila Prabhupada would say that taking to the Krishna consciousness, taking to the path of bhakti is the solution to all the problems of this world. So, when somebody gets this knowledge, the philosophy, the tattva behind this bhakti, that Krishna is watching me, I should be very, very decent, and I should prove myself as best in the eyes of Krishna. If we have that feeling, then obviously we don't need the system of police, the system of law, the system of punishing someone. Yeah, we don't need all these systems because we ourselves, we know that even though I might escape from the people around me or the systems that are built here in this material world, but definitely I will get caught in the hands of Krishna. So I should be very vigilant and very watchful, mindful of my activities. Yes or no?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Yeah. Items of knowledge. Yeah. Krishna starts saying there are 20 qualities that defines the items of knowledge. Like when one possesses these 20 qualities, then we call that person as knowledgeable person. Okay. So let us see what are those qualities. Humility. So humility means understanding our own position. Yeah. So humility means you have to understand, okay, even if you do something great, you should understand that it is not just by my own efforts that I could do this, but it includes the mercy of the Supreme Lord, it includes the time factor, it includes karma, it includes everything in that. So my part is just very minimal in achieving this. So when you get to know this, obviously we'll become humble. Yeah. So you know what? Humility and tolerance, these are the two qualities that attracts the Supreme Lord a lot. Okay. When we are pride, like when we are proud of doing something, when we are proud of achieving something, then that will not at all attract God's mercy. When we are humble, like Krishna, without your mercy, how will I be able to do this? Definitely, like you know what, in 15th chapter Krishna says that the knowledge that you possess, the remembrance that you have, and the forgetfulness of unnecessary things, all of this comes from me. So basically, if you're doing something, the knowledge behind it is from Krishna. And if you're able to do something skillfully, or if you can able to recollect something, that remembrance is from Krishna. So all these things are from Krishna. And just forgetting all this, we are just going to the people around and saying that it is just by my greatness that I did all this, then this is just foolish. Yeah. So we should understand that we are just instruments. Yeah, Krishna already told Arjuna that you be an instrument, but by being an instrument, you will get the glory. So we should understand that we are not the doers, we are not the sole doers. Of course, we are the doers to some extent. I don't say we are not the doers completely, but we are not the sole doers, we are not the whole doers. We are also doers to one part, but there are other factors also that involved in our success, or that involved in us gaining something or achieving something. So we should be mindful of that, and we should be humble always. Yeah. The more one receives knowledge, the more humble one should become. Yeah. The sign of a knowledge is he should be humble. Yes or no? So when the knowledge increases, when the knowledge is increasing, and this pride is also increasing, will that knowledge is actually considered as the real knowledge?
No, Mataji.
No.
Definitely no. When you are getting more and more of right knowledge, automatically you will become humble. You will understand that your position is very, very, very negligible in this material world. You will understand that. Yeah. So automatically we become so humble. Okay. A tree with lot of fruits, how will it be usually? It would
That will
bend
become.
down. A tree with no fruits, how will it grow? It would go straight like this. What is the use of such a tree? Where there is
Yes.
no fruit, no flower, nothing. Yeah, a tree with bunch of fruits, whole full of fruits, it is always bent down. Similarly, a person with right knowledge, right attitude towards this knowledge and all, he is always humble. So just by looking at his nature, we can understand that whether he is possessing the knowledge or not. We can just understand by his behavior. Yeah. And pridelessness. So we have already discussed this proud feeling is not at all a sign of knowledge. We should be prideless. Non-violence. So what is this non-violence? When Krishna says non-violence, but Krishna is encouraging the violence here, right, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Then why, what is this non-violence? How come non-violence is the sign of knowledge?
That is his dharma, Arjuna's dharma. That's why he encourages that.
Yes, basically, if you are fighting against adharma, and in that case, if there is no other option for you to build dharma apart from holding on to violence, then taking to the path of violence is also proper. Yeah. So even you take to the path of violence also, that is still considered as non-violence, because you are doing that for the sake of establishing dharma. So even that violence is considered as non-violence. Okay.
Yesterday you said no,
Hmm.
talking whatever you are talking about Krishna, that is the
Hmm.
otherwise that is Mauna,
Hmm. Yes.
like
Yeah.
that. You said.
Yes. 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 Yeah. Tolerance. Tolerance means, uh, if we know the purpose of our life, or if we have decided with what we want to achieve, the goal of our life, then automatically this tolerance would be built in us. Tolerance means keeping the small things small and keeping the big things big. But the problem is, since we don't know what are the big things in our life, we make all the small things into big things in life, and we get frustrated, irritated, and we end up creating mess in our life. Yeah. So tolerance means if you have complete idea of what is a big thing in your life and what is a small thing in your life. Like if somebody says something on the back of you, or somebody criticizes you, say, let me tell you an example. See, let's say you have a meeting to attend in half an hour, and you have started from your home and you have to reach your office. The office is like 25 minutes away. So you have just have half an hour. 25 minutes, if you start now, 25 minutes would be the journey time, and 5 minutes you have to park your vehicle, get into your building, and you have to set up your laptop and you have to attend the meeting. So you don't have, do you have any extra time to entertain anything here?
No, Mata.
No. Let's say if somebody who is also who is like a co-rider, who is someone on the street, he just have looked at you and he just have started laughing at you, like he teased you basically, then do you have time to stop there and have some argument with him and get that issue sorted out? Do you have the time at that moment?
No,
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 Mataji.
not at
Why?
all.
Even though this is an issue, but when compared to the bigger issue, the bigger thing is you have to go and attend the meeting. That is like a very important meeting in your career, and you have just half an hour to go, and you don't have time to entertain all these nonsense things. You laugh or you yell or you cry, whatever you do, I don't bother about you, because I have something very important to attend in half an hour. So I am in my mind. I don't waste my time talking to you or arguing with you. Yes or no? We understand this, and we just go on with our purpose. Similarly, in our life also, when we are not set up our goal, like what is the ultimate goal of my life and how far I am away from my goal. So what is my journey? What is the pace of my journey? What should be the pace of my journey? If you're not aware of all this, then what happens, even if something slight disturbance happens in your life, you will get provoked and you start wasting your time arguing with those with the person, or you start try to deal with those situations, giving them more time than what they need. Yeah. So basically, tolerance means you should know what is big and what is small. If you can understand what is your big thing in your life, then you don't make all the small small things into big things. Yeah. So tolerance is one such quality. As I told you, tolerance and humility, these two qualities are very much like if a person possesses these two qualities, that makes a person very dear to Krishna. Okay. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Sikshastakam, he says that one should be very humble like a blade of grass on the street, and one should be very tolerant like a tree. So the tolerance, the best example for tolerance is tree. Like even though you go there and you throw some stones on the tree, but still it will not do anything. It will just offer the fruits only. So if a person having that sort of nature, like fixed on the goal and not getting disturbed by the small petty issues of life, that tolerance the tolerance level of uh, a devotee of a person is something that attracts Krishna a lot. Okay. You know what? By chanting the holy names of the Lord, automatically our tolerance increases. Okay. So we get the tolerance, we get our tolerance muscle built to deal with the situations of our life. Okay.
Sorry, Mataji, but sometimes how much ever we keep patience also, some people keeps irritating.
Yeah.
So
So
how I should control my patience,
yeah, that's what I said. Keeping small things small means I'm not saying ignore the small things. You keep the small things small means like if someone irritates you, you try to explain them the things like, see, if you irritate me like this, it wastes your time, it wastes my time also. What do you want? I can do this only to this much extent to you. If you are expecting too much from me than this, then I will not be able to do it to you. So you set the expectations right with the person, and even after you setting the expectations right, even if the other party is trying to still do some bad words to you, or even if they are still arguing with you, you just stay calm and stay away from them, because it is your duty to set the right expectations, to set the clear picture for them, and you have to, after that you have to focus on your goal of your life. But what happens, we carry these things in our mind, and we get those things occupy our consciousness. That's where we are unable to focus on the bigger things in our life. But when we have a really bigger thing in our life, so we understand that, okay, there is a problem here, let me try to solve this problem. Okay, if there is any solution, I'll do that. But if there is no solution, I'll try to give them the right expectations and a right way of dealing with me. I'll set up that. And even after that, if still they could not understand, if they are still trying to hamper me, I will not get disturbed, because I have already done what is supposed to be done. Now I have other thing to focus, a bigger thing to focus. So this is tolerance, Mataji.
Okay, thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Great question. Simplicity. Yeah, simplicity is also one of the qualities of a person who is knowledge, who is full of knowledge. So when we say simple, simple as in, Srila Prabhupada always says we should keep our life simple, simple living, high thinking. So you live your life so simple in such a way that your thinking would be very high. So Krishna consciousness, the path of Bhagavad Gita is all about this. You lead a simple life, but keep your thinking high. Simple living, high thinking. High thinking means think of the things that are beyond this body. Simple living. See, living is on the bodily platform. You keep it simple. You don't make it too much, or you don't go for too much endeavors for just the maintenance of this body. So whatever is minimal, whatever is needed for the maintenance of the body, you do it. But you don't go for over endeavoring for giving some comforts and luxuries to this body. That makes your living complicated. But what happens when you make your living complicated? Automatically, you don't have the energy, time, or consciousness left for you to think on the higher things in your life. Yes or no?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Hence, we have to keep our life as simple as possible. Then we will definitely have the time, energy, our consciousness be free for thinking the higher things about our life and making our destination in that direction. Okay. So that is about simplicity and approaching a bona fide spiritual master. Yeah, we already know that. Um, we should definitely approach a bona fide spiritual master, because there are few perplexities in our life which cannot be solved by our own intelligence. Hence, Arjuna also have done the same thing. So he had gone to this situation. He is facing the situation of fighting with his relatives. So one side his dharma, and one side there are his relatives. So what is he supposed to do? He could not able to decide. Then what happened? He had approached a bona fide spiritual master. Similarly, we should also have a spiritual bona fide spiritual master in our life. Cleanliness. So we should maintain the cleanliness both internally and externally. So externally, as in we should take a bath at least twice a day. Yeah. So there are many people, especially in this time, in this era of IT. What happens? There are like many people. I have even heard few people, they would stay in the hostels and they would do the bathing once in a week. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, once in a week. They would do the bathing once in a week, and every day they just survive on some set of perfumes. Okay,
Oh,
so they don't even take to do bathing. So we should maintain cleanliness, external cleanliness and internal cleanliness. So internal cleanliness happens when we
well,
chant the holy names. Yeah, automatically internal cleanliness happens. The holy name cleans the anarthas within us. Okay. steadiness. So we should be steady in both ups and downs of our life, basically. So as I said, we'll have dualities in this material world. This material world is always full of dualities. You observe this. Uh, can you name any person's life where he's just facing only success in all his career? Is there any person who is
No,
just facing only success in his entire life?
No,
nobody.
Mataji.
Similarly, we will also not find anyone who is just facing only failures in his entire life. Of course, maybe the number of success rates and the number of failure rates would vary from person to person, but still you cannot say that this person is happy all through his life and this person is suffering all through his life. No, there would not be any such person. So this material world is full of dualities. It is like sometimes some ups, some success, some happiness, and sometimes some failure, some down, some distress. So this world is like that. It is full of ups and downs, happiness, distress, profit and loss. So it is like this. So we should maintain steadiness in both these situations. We should not be carried away or influenced by the dualities of this material world. Right? Yeah, self-control. So having control on the mind, having control on our senses, having control on our own self, that is also needed. Renunciation of the objects of sense gratification. Basically, whatever we are feeling that this will give me happiness, that object will give me happiness, that pleasure will give me happiness. So all those things to be renounced. Okay, we should understand that our happiness is there or is in serving Krishna. Our happiness is not in hankering after the pleasures of this material world. So we might get happy here, but that happiness, as I said earlier, it was just a titillation. It was not the original happiness. Like it was not the happiness that we want. I have already told you, if that is the happiness that we want, then once we get that happiness, then ideally we don't aim for more happiness. Yes or no? Like,
Yes, Mataji.
let's say we have put a target of earning 1 lakh per month. Now we have got a job and we are earning 1 lakh per month. But will we be satisfied with 1 lakh per month all through our life?
No,
No.
Mataji.
What happens immediately after 1 year? We feel that 1 lakh is very common figure. Everybody is earning. So definitely I should go for 2 lakh per month. If I get 2 lakh per month, then I'll be happy. So you try for 2 lakh per month, and even though you achieve the 2 lakh per month, you will not become happy. So we have to understand that even though I am trying my best to achieve the things which I feel that happiness is there in those things, even after achieving them, if I'm not getting the happiness, means we should understand that actually the happiness that we want is not the happiness that we get from this material world. That's why you see, even though there are many people who are extremely rich, extremely beautiful, extremely strengthy, extremely famous, even then in their lives, they are not happy. When you just poke them, they would say, you know what, I have so many problems. Yeah. So basically, the objects of the sense gratification would not give us happiness. The happiness that we want is of a different sort of happiness, because we are not this body. If we are this body, then we might get that happiness and we might feel happy. But you know what? We are not this body, we are soul. Hence, the happiness that we are feeling for this body is not actually making our soul contented, is not making our soul or us blissful, satisfied, happy. Yeah. Absence of false ego. So false ego means thinking that I am this body, and I belong to this so and so place, I belong to this country. So all the things that are related to the body, that is false ego. But when that ego is replaced by the real ego, like I am a soul, I am the spirit soul, I am Satchitananda, and I belong to Krishna, and I am his eternal servant, that is the right ego. And right ego, one should possess that right ego. Okay. The perception of the evil of birth, death, old age, and disease. So one should know the ultimate problems of our life are birth, death, old age, and disease. Rest all problems are the problems because of these problems. They are like top up on top of this. Yeah. So basically, since we have taken birth, we are facing some financial crisis. We are facing some relationship issues. We are facing some problems with our career. We are facing some problems with our children. So all these are because we are in this material body. We have taken birth here. That's why we are entitled to all this set of problems, but our ultimate problems are birth, death, old age, and disease. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. Okay. Yeah, and detachment. So we should always practice the mm, uh, like how we should be detached from the results of our work. How can we maintain the detachment from our family members? So we should have this detachment. The major problem is, since we are attached to the results of our work, since we are attached to the people around us, we are facing problems here. But when we learn to know how to become detached from this, then automatically the problems that we face would come down. Okay. Freedom from entanglement with children, wife, home, and the rest. Even mindedness amidst pleasant and unpleasant events, as we've already discussed. That steadiness also. Similar concepts. Constant and unalloyed devotion to me. So one who possesses this unalloyed as in uh, unalloyed means not mixed. So somebody, like, there are few people who perform devotion for want of something. Like, few people come to devotion for want of some money, for want of fame, for want of so and so things in life. So that is like alloyed devotion. But unalloyed devotion means I don't want anything. I am just here to please you, Krishna. You have done so much for me. Now it is my time to show or reciprocate my love to you. All these lifetimes you have shown your love to me. Now I just want to use this lifetime to show my love to you. That is unalloyed devotion to Krishna. Okay. So in love, do we expect anything in return?
No, Mataji.
No. Yeah. Hence it is unalloyed devotion. Aspiring to live in a solitary place, yeah, solitary place away from people. Detachment from the general mass of people. So this is also that, like, um, the people who talk of the material things of the world, like related to movies, politics, some gossips, some general talk. So we should maintain the detachment from those kind of people, accepting the importance of self realization. So understanding how much important it is to know about myself as in the soul, realization of my own self, and doing activities on that front. Philosophical search for the absolute truth. So doing the research, the philosophical search for the absolute truth, to identify who is the supreme, what is my relation with him, how can I revive that relation, all these things. So all these I declare to be knowledge. Whatever Krishna has mentioned here, all these are the aspects of knowledge. And besides this, whatever there may be is ignorance. So Krishna is saying that. So whatever you possess beyond this is ignorance. But if you can possess these things in your life, then that is said to be knowledge. Okay. Yeah. Same things here. So humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of the objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego and the perception of the evils of birth, death, old age, and disease, detachment, freedom from entanglement, equanimity in joys and sorrows, unalloyed devotion, aspiring to live in a solitary place, detached from the general mass of public, accepting the importance of self-realization and search for the absolute truth. So these 20 items are the aspects of knowledge. Now, how to gain this knowledge? Yeah, how to gain this knowledge? Most important quality is constant and unalloyed devotion to me. So, as I said, once we start doing devotion, all the divine qualities would develop in us. Yeah, as we are every day associating with the Supreme Lord, whatever the qualities that are there in the Supreme Lord, so all those qualities gradually starts manifesting in us. Okay. So this devotion would lead to the development of all these qualities in us. Essential qualities. So basically, with the devotion, so all these byproducts, yeah, it is like you are trying to establish your connection with Krishna, and what are you getting? You are getting liberation, you are getting knowledge, you are getting the divine qualities. So all these are like byproducts of devotion. Yes or no?
Yes, Mataji.
Trying yourself to connect to Krishna, So automatically you will become entangled from the material world, you will be liberated from the material world, you don't need to take further bodies, you will be free from the cycle of birth, death, old age and disease, and you will start developing the divine qualities. So you don't need to go for any special process to develop divine qualities. The process itself, the process of bhakti itself is so pure, so so pristine and pure that it develops the divine qualities in us, and it automatically abolishes or removes the demoniac qualities in us. So all these are like byproducts of bhakti. Okay. Yeah, and essential quality for this is you have to accept a bona fide spiritual master. Yeah, so we should definitely have a spiritual master in our life, and by approaching the spiritual master and by serving the spiritual master, by following the instructions given by the spiritual master, automatically we would be given the right direction in our life. Okay, until we don't have the spiritual master, let's say if we don't have anyone as the spiritual master in our life, you know what, who will be our spirit, who will be our master? If we don't have a spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master in our life, there is already a master within us who is trying to rule us. You know, can
Our
you guess who
mind,
is that master?
our
Yeah,
soul.
exactly. Our mind. Yeah, as I have already told you, if you don't have someone bona fide authentic spiritual master, then you know what, our mind takes that role and it starts guiding us. So what does it say? You go there, you enjoy, you stop chanting, stop this nonsense of bhakti. What is your age? Why are you listening to Bhagavad Gita? Is this really needed for you? Know? So what happens? Mind gives us all these nonsense instructions to us, and we are helpless, and we start believing in the mind, and we'll ruin our life. But if you have a spiritual master, then you know what? The spiritual master, uh, so he keeps a mirror in front of us and he shows this is how your mind is dealing with you. This is your mind, but you are not your mind. Okay, so spiritual master puts a mirror in front of us and shows us this is you, but this is not you. This is your mind, and it is making you feel that just by following its instructions, you will be happy. But that is not you. You are a pure spirit soul, and you possess the quality, the Sat Chit Ananda quality of Krishna. Yeah, so since you all these lifetimes you are under the shelter of your mind, you were driven by the instructions of your mind. Now you see, this is how your mind is cheating you, this is how your mind is pulling you back in this journey. So don't ever trust your mind. Yeah? This is how spiritual master guides us. Okay. Of course, that's why initially when we approach a spiritual master, we feel so much pain because spiritual master chastises us, spiritual master corrects us. Basically, who is feeling that pain here? Our mind. It knows, like when this jiva approaches a spiritual master, definitely he will identify that the problem is not outside, the problem is inside, and the problem is with me. So the mind knows that. That's why it says, no, 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 don't go there, don't go there, don't bend yourself. So when you go to the spiritual master, he starts bending our false ego. Yeah, so when our false ego is pulled, then automatically we start developing the real ego. Okay, that's how a spiritual master instructs us in our life. Other important qualities are, as I told you, humility, non-violence, self-control, detachment from general mass of public. So by doing all this, we develop this knowledge, we gain this knowledge. Yeah, what is an ideal home? Giving arati together, chanting and singing together, honoring prasadam together, and studying basically the scriptures together. So basically, a family that prays together stays together. Okay. So what happens is, you know, what is the cause of the disturbances within a family? Any guesses? What is the main reason for the disturbances in the family?
Expectations, Mataji.
Okay. What is
Financial
it? Is our ego.
ego.
Okay, we want our thing to happen, and everybody in the family feels that I want my own ideas or my own opinions to be implemented, and the other person wants his ideas to be implemented, the other person wants her ideas to be implemented. What happens is everybody's center is there them, And automatically, when all these people come together, there will be disturbance because there is no center point. But when you take to the path of devotion, you put your ego aside and you bring Krishna in the center. So for me, Krishna is the center. For him, Krishna is the center. For her, Krishna is the center. Automatically, when everybody's center is one common point, Krishna, then is there any chance for disturbance in the family?
No, Mataji.
No. So earlier, you know what happened? There was a couple, and uh, as per their astrology, as per their chart, astrological chart, they're both the compatibility between the couple is not at all good. So when they are actually they got married, every day they'll have problems and it would lead to divorce for them. So this is how their astrological chart was. And what happened, you know, the couple started reading Srimad Bhagavatam every day, every single day for 1 hour. They both sit together and they start reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is all about the pastimes of Krishna. Okay. So, you know what happened? They stayed happily for almost 65 to 70 years without any issue in their life. How? As per the astrological chart, there is no compatibility at all between these two people. And immediately after getting married, like within few months or years, there is a high chance that they would get divorced. But what happened? Even our life starts changing when you take to the path of bhakti. Earlier, when I told in one of the classes that bhakti has the shakti or the power to even change our karma. Yeah, how that happens? Automatically, we keep our ego aside. So it is Krishna's sake. Why should I fight now? I don't want to fight. I just want to keep the service going on. I just want to keep the service progress in my life. So I don't want my ego, my things to be taken as priority. I want the service to be taken as priority. For that, I'll keep my ego aside. Automatically, what happens? There would be no question of disturbance. Even though if some disturbing situation comes, we don't extend it. We don't pull it. Okay, anyways, whatever had happened, happened. Let's leave all that and let's sit together and read Srimad Bhagavatam. So automatically the couple had stayed for a very long time without any issues at all. Okay. And you know what? I have heard this in one of the lectures of a senior devotee that the people who take to the path of bhakti, like if there is a proper or authentic astrologer, like there are many astrologers for the sake of money, so they would say something. I'm not just talking about those astrologers who had actually studied the science behind this astrology, who are like authentic astrologers. They would not see the astrological chart of the devotees. They would right away accept or say that we don't see the astrological chart of the people who are especially doing the devotion to Lord Vishnu or Krishna. Because you know what? Your rekhas, the lines on your hand, on your palm, they keep changing. So Krishna is there to change the lines on your palm. So it is Krishna who is personally intervening in the lives of devotees. They would straight away accept that. You are doing devotion to Krishna, then bus, take your papers. We are not going to say this. Even if you say something, that will not happen for you because it is Krishna who is just driving your life. Yeah. You know what? When we go and participate in the kirtan and just start clapping our hands in the kirtan, the lines on our palms starts changing just by clapping hands in the kirtan. Okay, just by offering obeisances in front of the Lord, the fate that is written here starts changing. That is the power of bhakti, dear devotees. So Krishna personally intervenes and starts changing the destiny of his devotees. Yeah. So I don't know. I just thought of saying this to you, but anyway, let us go ahead. How to achieve these 20 qualities? So basically, process of knowledge terminates in unalloyed devotional service to the Lord. So when you take to the devotional service of the Lord, the most essential quality, this one, then you start developing all these qualities. If one takes to full Krishna consciousness, all the other mentioned qualities are automatically developed. Okay. Let us see soul and super soul. Yeah, soul. I shall now explain the knowable, knowing which you will taste the eternal, Brahman, the spirit, beginningless and subordinate to me, lies beyond the cause and effect of this material world. So Krishna is saying details about the soul. What is he saying? The soul is eternal. So there is no date of birth for the soul. So if at all we are saying date of birth, so whose date of birth is that? Whose date of birth? Is it the soul or is it body's date
Body.
of birth?
Body.
Yeah, date of birth is for the body that we are entrapped in, but there is no date of birth for the soul. So if there is no date of birth, then obviously there is no date of death. Yeah, when there is a manufacturing date, then there will be expiry date. But for the soul, there is no thing called manufacturing date, and there will be nothing of the sort called expiry date. Yeah, it is anadi, it is eternal. We cannot trace out the time where it is into being. Okay, it was always existing. We cannot trace out. Okay, and the soul is subordinate to Krishna. We should remember this, dear devotees. Soul is always subordinate to Krishna, always dependent. Okay, so it is like, let's say a mother has two children, uh, an elder child and a younger child, and the elder child is very independent, like he know how to do his things, like to get ready for the school. He'll take his bath, he'll wear his uniform, so he'll get ready for the school, and whatever the mother had prepared, he will take the food, everything he'll take, he'll do everything on his own. But the younger child is like, he is unable to, you know, put some paste on his brush also. So for everything it is like, amma, 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 please come, please come, please come. So the child would be calling to the mother. So on whom the mother would be more interested in? Is it the younger child or is it the elder child? Tell me.
Younger.
Younger, because for everything this child is dependent on the mother. Like, he's unable to open the buttons on his shirt, like he would call his mother, amma, amma, amma. Again he's like, he's unable to wear his socks, he would call his mother, amma, amma, amma. For everything he would call his mother. So the mother is like, this boy, he doesn't know anything, let me be with him and let him get ready so that he goes to school properly. Yes, the mother would think like this. Similarly, dear Matajis, we should also depend on Krishna like that. Krishna likes someone who is dependent on him, not who is independent of him. Okay, so this does not mean that whatever is within your range, you don't do that and you depend on Krishna. No, I'm not saying that. Whatever is in your control, you do that perfectly. But whatever you are unable to do, you just go to Krishna, pray and depend on Krishna. So Krishna likes those and those living entities, those souls who are dependent on him. Yeah, you just go to him and call him, like you call your mother. Similarly, you call out to Krishna, saying that, Krishna, I'm unable to handle this, please give me strength, please be with me, please guide me. So you go to Krishna, reveal your heart to Krishna, and Krishna likes those who are dependent on him. Usually we listen, or we get the teaching that we have to be independent, but when it comes to bhakti, we should know that how we have to be dependent on Krishna. Okay. Yeah.
It is quite opposite,
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji, quite opposite. Yeah, many concepts would be opposite in from bhakti to normal life. In a
Yes.
normal